They're at the start of their journey, they think outside the box, and they often come up with bright ideas. They are a new generation of business people, and their distinguishing features are creativity and enthusiasm. This is the world of startups, the program about IT developers and the industry of startups.
Hello everybody, it's been a week. This means that it's time for a new portion of news from the world of IT startups. My name is Eric Akishev. The enrollment of pupils and students started up for a unique project for Kazakhstan, Space Lab. The work is conducted under the guidance of George Smoot, a Nobel laureate in physics, and his team. Our correspondents met with the scientists and listeners, and now they will share details with us. Watch the report. Kazakhstani pupils and students have a unique opportunity to participate in the project of Space Lab, created this autumn by the Nazarbayev University. The program has international aspects. The project is led by George Smoot, a Nobel laureate, together with Eric Linde, a scientist of the University of California at Berkeley, as well as Bruce Grassano, a scientist in astrophysics and cosmology lab of the University of Paris. The main goal of the project is substantial potential improvement of Kazakhstan in the field of fundamental physics and space technology.
In my opinion, the most exciting project in all of academia, because we want to unleash the potential of the students of Nazarbayev University and of Kazakhstan, which is an enormous potential.
The training program includes both theoretical and experimental studies. It's planned to conduct monitoring of space processes, creation of tools for the study of gamma-ray bursts and gravity and their respective areas in the lab. The exchange of students with foreign research centers is anticipated. Also, the program for visits of professors is provided. The professors who read lectures and conduct practical seminars for our groups will be invited. School children and students who have basic knowledge in physics and astrophysics can become participants of the lab, and the winners of competitions in the relevant disciplines have the greatest chance to get into the project. Merivert Iskakova, a sophomore student of the Nazarbayev University, is fascinated with astrophysics from an early age. She learned about this admission from social networks and immediately sent a request and received an invitation to the seminar. Honestly, I have dreamed to be an astrophysicist since childhood. That's how I remember how I learned to read. I loved opening the encyclopedia and reading about stars, space, the universe, so I immediately went to our scientists and asked to take me to the project. Researchers in this area are particularly relevant in light of the growing competition among space startups. Most recently at the International Congress of Aeronautics in Mexico, known billionaire Elon Musk, the head of SpaceX and Tesla Motors, announced his intention to move million people to Mars. It's worth noting that not so long ago the SpaceX has successfully conducted the first test of a Raptor rocket engine that will be used for the expedition to Mars in 2024. There is a high demand for IT professionals in all areas of business in Kazakhstan today. However, many novice programmers find it difficult to understand how to develop a career and introduce yourself to the employer. In this regard, the Pitchbootcamp event took place in Almaty. This is the project of international scope which was previously held in such countries as Portugal, Spain, Morocco and Brazil. Employers and job seekers like the new way. You will now learn about it more. Pitchbootcamp is a format of the event recently invented in Europe, where employees look for potential employees and students and graduates use the opportunity to assess their professional qualities from the outside and to hear feedback from representatives of major companies. Over past 4 years, over 50 Pitchbootcamps have been carried out worldwide, with more than 6,000 students and 3,000 professionals from 850 companies. In Almaty, the Pitchbootcamp was held for the second time. The owners of the business and technical specialists were invited to participate in it. Today we have invited 20 leaders from different companies who give us immediate feedback on how to improve a career, how to develop based on their own experience. There are CEOs who, from the position of 20 years of experience, tell their classes at a very early stage of their careers how they will continue to develop, where to go now, where the market needs what professionals, what skills are required, what competencies are in demand in the market. The format of Bootcamp involves 2 to 3 minutes performances of the candidates before employers. During this time, students are expected to present themselves in good light and then to get feedback for 7-8 minutes. Many representatives of the leading companies in Kazakhstan came to the event with premeditated image of the successful applicant of the position. The general submission is how the person looks, how he speaks, his body language, eye contact, the way he behaves in general. The second assessed thing is the ability to make your speech quickly and to tell the company concisely why you are so valuable for this company. When a person says, I did these or those projects, I have achieved such results, and now all of this is popular, then he speaks about the analytics and statistics, and it becomes really interesting when a man knows what he wants, knows how he will bring profit to business. Despite the fact that the majority of job seekers have no experience, for many of them, Pitchbootcamp is the real opportunity to get it. According to the results of similar event in April in Almaty, every 4th participant was offered a job or internship. Although current bootcamp has barely begun, there were already several successful interviews between employees and applicants for jobs. The practice allowed me to meet people with whom I can really share experiences, which will give me the knowledge I could not get in the university. The organizers plan to make this event a regular one, which will be held 2 times a year. Besides, the similar pitch bootcamps will be held in other cities of the Republic. More and more Kazakh banks open a full-fledged representation on the internet, becoming a kind of IT company. In addition, financial institutions are actively introducing the achievements of Fintech in their industry. How will the banking system be in the coming years? We will talk with the top manager of one of the Kazakhstani banks, Anthony Espina. Hello Anthony, what do you think about banking sector today?
I started programming in 1969 and I've done a lot of banking systems all over Asia. I find the banking technology in Kazakhstan is very advanced. But there's something which is happening in the world market today which is going to impact all banks in Kazakhstan and all banking technologies in Kazakhstan. And that is the prevalence of the internet. With the internet, many non-banks can disrupt banking practices in Kazakhstan. The challenge for banks in Kazakhstan is to look at the so-called Fintech. Fintech is very problematic for banks, but it creates many, many new opportunities for banks. It allows us to reach directly from the bank to our customers.
What are the prospects of the blockchain technology?
Blockchain is a work in progress, okay? Blockchain as it stands today is very good at verification. Unfortunately, because of the computing power that's required to run it, it's not easily accessible to most banks. Now, big companies like Microsoft and IBM, they're experimenting with blockchains, they're experimenting with private blockchains, which will allow banks and companies which are in the same industry to work together using this technology. But the actual application of blockchain in the banking system would take a few more years.
What else can the banking system use besides the blockchain from the latest developments in Fintech?
The biggest disruption in banking is what we call P2P lending. Okay? P2P lending means you will lend directly to me as a borrower without going through a bank. All right? Unfortunately, a lot of people do not understand what P2P actually means. P2P actually is P to P to P. 3 Ps, not 2. All right? Why do I say 3 Ps? Because in between the lender and the borrower, there's another intermediary called the platform. The difference between banking and P to P to P is if the borrower does not repay to the bank still repays to you as depositor. In P to P to P, if the borrower defaults, you, the depositor, lose. The platform does not take any liability. So this is a major challenge, both for banks and for our banking regulators to get on top of.
Это все, что мы успели вам рассказать.
That's all we managed to tell you today. If you have interesting ideas or developments that the whole world should know about, don't hesitate to contact us on our official pages in social networks. Yours, Serhii Kakishev. See you in a week on Kazakh TV.